there, you you hot priests. Welcome to my 2019 favorites video. I'm just gonna say this. I just finished watching Fleabag because I'm late to things, and all I want to do is talk about Fleabag. Got Fleabag on the brain, got hot priests on the brain. I didn't watch that show in 2019, I watched it in 2020 because I just watched it last night. So I'm not going to make this a Fleabag dedicated video, but I will say this. If you did watch it and you want to talk about it, please feel free to comment or message me on any of my social media platforms because I have so many feelings and so many thoughts. It is distracting me. Anyway, welcome to my favorites video. So, 2019. What a doozy, am I right? I almost didn't make a favorites video for this year because I went through like all my photos from last year, all my shit, my brain memories files, and I was like, wow, this year was so weird, and also I consumed very little things. I didn't watch any new shows. I saved that for 2020 when I watched Fleabag. I didn't watch any new shows. I listened to a ton of new music. We'll get to that. I didn't really buy any new makeup or anything. I'm still pretending like this is kind of a makeup channel. I traveled a lot. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of work. I just didn't have a lot of time. The whole thing, there's a lot of chaotic energy last year. And I was like, what were my favorite things? I don't know. So I put together a little list. This is quite the sell. I'm sure you guys can't wait to hear what I'm about to say. Fleabag. But anyway, I do have some standout things. It's just not a long list. As usual, I'll start off with like beauty related things. Get that shit out of the way. And then move on to the juicy parts, like music. I have 3 skincare items, which is funny. You might be thinking to yourself, why would I take skincare advice from a person whose face is deteriorating into a teenage zombie apocalypse of acne bad situation? Crushing the verbal skills today. And the answer is, I don't know. Feel free to ignore me. And yes, I'm wearing makeup today, updating you from my video where I talked about my acne a couple months ago. It is not better. Still just purging and having a great time, living in isolation. Don't show my face anymore. Hate it. So let's talk about my favorite skincare items. The It Cosmetics Bye Bye Makeup Cleansing Balm. This stuff is the shit. And I used it before everything started to fall apart. I've tried a lot of cleansing balms. I like the Clinique one. I like some other ones, but nothing really compared to this. It's kind of annoyingly expensive for what it is. It's like $38. Don't mind me, I'm just texting my friend who's calling me back because I called her to talk about Fleabag. Anyway, what was I saying? This stuff removes makeup really well, and it doesn't irritate my face, even when my face is explosively in pain. My sister's car is also obsessed with this now after borrowing it from me a number of times. It's just my favorite cleansing balm. Removes makeup, doesn't really leave a residue. It does the stuff that I would want a cleansing balm to do well. Cleanser, the First Aid Beauty Pure Skin Face Cleanser with Fab Antioxidant Booster. This stuff I like better than the Fresh Soy Cleanser, which I also liked and talked about in a favorites video however long ago. Feels good. Cleans my face, doesn't irritate my face, which is, even when I'm not breaking out, my face is just really sensitive and a lot of stuff burns and stings. This does not. I feel like it helps to clean my face and not do bad stuff to my face. And then the Cerave Daily Moisturizing Lotion. Once I started using Differin, which I'm not putting on my favorites list because right now I want that shit to go die in a hole because it made my face way worse, but I also know that's like part of the process and it hasn't been long enough for me to really be like Fuck you, different, but I do feel like that right now. I do some experimentation with moisturizers. I like this one because it's not greasy, which is good for when you're using a retinoid, or at least like new to using a retinoid, because if you use a really, really greasy moisturizer, it can like have things migrate into your eye. Such a long pause after that. Or other sensitive nasal labial folds. Nasal labial folds, you perverts. Anyway, you don't want something super greasy when you're using a retinoid. So this is lightweight but still hydrating. Pretty surprised at the fact that throughout the different process, my skin hasn't been like, I'm so parched, because my skin's already pretty dry, but this is a good little thing. Okay, now to the good part. So I have not found a new therapist since I relocated full-time. It's a bit of a situation. But what I did find was new headphones and music, which sort of work as like a placeholder for my therapist for when I'm like, and that's what anxiety and depression look like in action. These headphones are incredible. Get ready for me to seem so much more enthusiastic than I did about those last few things. I don't understand why, when I wear these out in the world, people try to talk to me. I know that it just made it sound like I was going to start talking about like the headphones and why you should buy them. And instead, I'm just talking about how much people annoy me. But it's what's happening. I can't hear shit when these are on. The noise cancellation works so well, and the sound quality is amazing. So I am very much in my own world in here. And also, it boggles the mind, because when I listen to music, I do not listen to music like that. How many times am I going to put these headphones on? I don't listen to music like this. I listen to music like this. So it's like when someone walks by and they're like, hey, and I'm like, do you think I'm in the same place as you right now? But I'm like, no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, would you like to hear some features of the product? Why do I have a YouTube channel? Great sound quality, noise cancellation works great. The Bluetooth connecting has been very consistent. I haven't really had any issues with that. The charge does last for a surprisingly long time, to the point where when it's like, battery low, I'm like, oh shit, really? Kind of forgot that was a thing. There are some little like quick controls on here. It's like a touch, you touch it. It's like a you touch it. And so you can like double tap to do some shit. You can change volume. That's handy. They're comfortable on my little head, and I love them. And they're my therapist, and they're a bit pricey, but if you love music and don't want to always be in the world, then definitely a favorite. One of my most used items and most loved, which is what favorite means. Going along with that, so this year, it did punch me in the nuts many times, but there was a ton of great music, which I always appreciate. And I did this last year and I did it again this year. I made a playlist of the year that was all of the songs that I really enjoyed. Little disclaimer about it. It is not all songs that came out last year, and it's not all like favorite songs necessarily. It's all the music that I either listened to a ton and like could not get out of my head, or just like really loved and it was really speaking to me. Or it's also songs sometimes where it's like, this song was part of a really significant moment for me in the year. And so that was kind of my criteria. It's not so much that I was like, these are songs from 2019. But anyway, I made a Spotify playlist. I'll put a link in the description box, and I hope that you enjoy that music, because music is all we've got. Chance Rapper. Another one of my favorites that is not a thing you can buy, I guess you could also do it, has been shaving my fucking head, man. I shaved my head last year, and I remember talking in my video about how I was like editing out a lot of stuff in 2018, and I was like, I edited out my hair. And the thing about when I shaved my head then, I loved it, but it was very much a reaction. It was like a cleansing, like, God, it'll off of me, ugh, about just life and some specific things, people's person, where I was like, yeah. And so I kept it shaved for several months, but I eventually kind of started to let it grow out. And because I didn't think of myself as like, as my sister Skylar put it, a bald bad bitch, a bad bald bitch, a BBB, B cubed. I didn't think of myself as that. I thought of myself as a person with the short little like shaggy whatever thing I had going on. And after I grew it out, I just was not as happy with my hair for a long time. This is like so interesting. I am not surprised you're here watching me talk about this. By the way, I'm riveted, you're riveted. We're just riveters. Anyway, I wasn't as happy with my hair, even though I had amazing hairstylists. If you're ever in Austin, by the way, Pepper Pastor and Lo Shabano. Oh my God, I don't remember her last name. I always just call her Lo. I'll put it in the description box. They are amazing hairstylists. So it was not them. They only ever gave me fantastic haircuts. I just didn't feel like myself. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to shave my head this time. Not because I'm like, you know, but because I just feels right. And I'm so happy with it. And I can't see myself growing it out for like a long time. It's so convenient. I love that styling it means putting my head in the sink and then letting it dry. And that's the whole thing of it. And yeah, it's just, I feel the most like myself like this. So it's probably here to stay. Plus it feels really fun to do this, which is a plus. Holy shit, the book Atomic Habits. My Virgos, this is our jam, okay? I was just gonna say, I don't say like this changed my life lightly, which is a lie, a bold-faced lie. I say stuff like that all the time. Big fan of hyperbole over here. But seriously, this book changed my fucking life. I got so annoying about it, similar to how I'm being annoying about Fleabag right now. Oh my God. Hot Priest! Atomic Habits is amazing. It's this guy who is so great, and he's basically just broken down the science of habit formation and put things out in like, here's all of the science of why humans do stuff and why they don't do stuff. And here's the practical applications for how you can be better at doing stuff that you want to do and stop doing the stuff you don't want to do. It's so easy to process. It makes so much sense. And it changed my fucking life. I actually like do things consistently now. Do you know how ADD I am? You could probably guess from watching any one of my videos ever. But like, I'm so ADD. I've had such a hard time with being consistent in my life. This book is amazing. It's not even that long. It's like 6 hours if you listen to the audiobook. Such practical information. He also has little sheets you can print out that are like habit trackers where you can write down habits you want to have and put a little X each day you do them. I'm obsessed, and it's not the kind of thing where like I read it and for 2 weeks I was obsessed and thought it changed my life and then moved on. I had this one therapist who I actually did love so much at that stage in my life, and he's amazing, but I said something about a book changed my life and he was like, yeah, for like the next 2 weeks, right? And I was like, fuck you. Anyway, I read this book in the very beginning of the year, and I actually had to look back and be like, did I talk about this in 2018? Did I already do that? But no, it was beginning of this year, and I still am like amazed at how much easier my life is to function within. And that's a big part of it. It's kind of like part of why we don't have good habits is people make it really hard or they bite off more than they can chew. And so you just make shit so easy for yourself and you standardize a habit and then you optimize it. So we're always like, I want to run, and so I'm going to run for an hour every morning. But it's like, no, you're not. Like, maybe, but probably no, you're not. You'll do it for like 2 weeks, and then you'll be tired, or you'll be running late, or something. So he's like, make your habit putting on your running shoes. And then more often than not, when you put on your running shoes, you're actually going to go for a run. But do things that you can consistently do so that you get into the habit of like, okay, I think this is something I do. It's part of my daily schedule. I identify as a person who does this. And then it's way easier to build off of something that actually has a foundation. The book is 6 hours of things like that. Tons of practical information. Highly recommend it. So highly recommend it that I'm annoying to be around sometimes when I'm talking to people. Because I'm like, have you read Atomic Habits? Let's talk about habit formation. You should read that book. Do you have an Audible? Do you want me to just send you my... So yeah, I'm going to put everything in the description box. I hope you enjoy the playlist. I hope you listen to good music. I hope you have a good year. Clarity. 2020. Vision. Not going to lie, my year is off to a fucking great start. Oh my God. 2019 ended in a fiery pit of doom. Rough. Real rough. And this year is felt so nice. And I know that time is a construct and years don't really matter, but I love New Year's. I love resetting. I love checking in. I love journaling, setting goals. Super excited. I'm feeling good. A lot of that is attributed to Atomic Habits because the only reason I was able to watch Fleabag is because I now actually have a little bit of time in the evening to watch a show after Caspian goes to bed because he goes to bed at like a consistent time. And I actually like get my to-do list done in the day. So I'm not like, oh my God, I have to work now that he's asleep. Because I'm like, well, I already did a bunch of work and was productive and balance is important. So I should binge watch this show. I hope your year is off to a great start. If it's not, isn't it nice how when life's really shitty, it stops at some point, at least for a minute? I'm a motivational speaker. But yeah, I just had a really rough time, and now I'm having a really nice time, and it does that. So if you're having a rough time right now, I'm really sorry about that. It'll get better, and then it'll get worse again, and then it'll get better again. So you might as well have a good time and do the stuff you actually really want to do. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't really remember what I said. If you have any questions you want me to answer in my I'm on a Couch series where I answer like a question as if I know what I'm saying, it can be on any topic. You can email them to kikiqa@gmail.com. I had a lot of fun shooting the last one, so I will probably continue to do it. And I would love to hear what you guys want to chat about. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at Kiki G Makeup, but only if you want to talk about Fleabag. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on it what your favorites were, and I will talk to you later, you little cuties. I just don't understand how she made fucking Moriarty from Sherlock so hot and sweet and likable. Oh my God.